people? How's everyone doing? There's never a quiet day at this club. Of course, we're here to talk about the Red Bull sponsorship investment. But obviously, you come to this channel, different perspective, different information I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about something I don't believe anyone's speaking about with this in great depth. Something I've done a lot of research on in the last 2 years, actually, at university about. And this is about the infrastructure of Red Bull and what they are away from the investment side of it and what that means and what they can bring to a club, what they can bring to a sporting establishment in terms of performance, recruitment, all that stuff that massively helps grow the club. It, helps you get the better players, helps you get hidden gems in the scouting department, stuff like this. One thing that, and of course, look, like I said, if this is a discussion about the ownership and all that stuff, there will be channels and I'll be on some of them chatting about that. This right here is a specific video about this certain aspect that excites me about this venture because this is what I've researched. This is what I know about. I don't know about all the other stuff. That's not for me. Yeah. Obviously, we all know the size of Red Bull, and obviously, you guys will know they're involved in loads and loads of sports. The main one being F1. Everyone knows about F1, but with that, you have sponsored athletes and stuff like that. So maybe that's a venture we could go down with some of our players. They could become Red Bull athletes, which again takes you to all these events around the world. F1, you could do collaborations with F1, like little stuff like this. It really helps grow the fan base. But what I really want to speak about is their recruitment and their scouting department, because it's very, very at the forefront of technology. And that is something they really rely on. They have a performance center in Austria where they have all these state-of-the-art equipment, all these new technologies, these new algorithms that help create or help to develop athlete performance. And that is key. And it's that bit for me that really excites me about the infrastructure around the controversial parts that could be very effective and exciting for Leeds United. You think of the way the training ground is set up. If Red Bull get involved in how they see performance and how they are at the forefront of technology or new technology within the sporting sector, and they bring that to Thorpe Arch and maybe create and invest in that training facility and create a state-of-the-art training facility, a new high-performance centre in the UK through Leeds, again, that is attracting not only obviously the interest, but top athletes. That is a huge part of it. You could look at Red Bull's track record and how they attract athletes in other sports, and then you can look at it from a football perspective when a player might want to choose another side, but actually you have this project and you can sell them a state-of-the-art facility that will, in turn, based on evidence, help improve the longevity of an athlete's performance, help energize an athlete's performance in terms of, the percentages in games. Because like I said, in terms of the technology and the going forward with how football works in terms of performance, Red Bull are at the top of that. They are. Look at all the elite athletes from any sport they're in. They're all Red Bull athletes. And if you can get this involved in a football side, yeah, you can grow massively, especially a Premier League club. And this is what I mean. This is part of the thing. I am convinced, honestly, guys, I am convinced. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. In the next few years, people worrying about other things, I think that is future concern about the other things. For me, I believe the training facility will be revamped and developed by Red Bull. By the 49ers, obviously. High-profile people at Red Bull that understand performance. There'll be a certain part of it, at least, that will be engineered in the new technology side of it that will help improve and change the way athletes train at times. They are at the forefront of it, which I've said. And I think we'll see that. I think our training ground may even become... If the name changes for me recent, it will definitely be the training ground. I think that could become a Red Bull Performance, Leeds United's Red Bull Performance Centre. I really do. And that would be no... In that sense, there'd be no negative for a training facility to be revamped and redeveloped by Red Bull, because they are, like I said, they already have a high-performance facility that is at the forefront of pushing athletes and finding percentages within athletes of how to improve their performance, making them better athletes. Also longevity as well. So, and recovery, injury prevention, all that stuff comes into that performance side of it. And obviously, as an analyst and someone who works in that field, that's something that massively excites me. It really does. And like I said, if you're concerned about other things, There will be loads of content creators who make good videos about that. I'm not savvy to that information. I sit and listen to that stuff. Stuff I think I have a little idea about, I will talk about. And the other thing is the scouting department. And again, Red Bull, the infrastructure, you look at the City Group as an example, how they have different facilities in different countries that attract the best players because it is the City Group. They have the best scouts, they have the best analysts, they have the best recruitment analysts, they have the best, they pay well, and they have the best. That's why they get the best players. They have a bigger infrastructure, right? They can go to 15 different games in one country, whereas other clubs maybe go to 1 or 2. We then have the project of the training facility say to these young athletes, look, you want to come here, we can develop you better. Look at our track record. Plus, from a scouting department as well, you look at RB and how they bring in, based on the unbelievable facilities they have in other countries and the infrastructure and the net they have over football, they bring all of these young talents in before any big club, really. I'd say RB and the City Group are at the top of that. I really do. I mean, look at their teams. Predominantly, they're all young talents that were not really known and have all, Haaland, Mane, just 2 off the top of my head, that have gone on to do unbelievable things and become unbelievable athletes. If this partnership develops, this could be something that Leeds United could be part of. You know, a competitor to that City Group in terms of that, getting those young players recruited, because obviously it's tough. Any top class talent we have is likely going to get picked off by that group, with it being northern and fairly close. So you need competitors, because that youth side of it, that scouting department is huge. And it's not only for their youth academy, it's finding gems in countries or places that others might not get to. But even then, if others do get there, if you come with the partnership of Red Bull saying, well, Leeds United, you know, and we are, the scouts represent the Red Bull scouting structure, that's a lot of positive things for the scouting department. Even hiring, even using the club to hire Red Bull scouts that have been, you know, developed through the Red Bull school that they have there, where they develop scouts. The only thing about the Red Bull school that isn't up to par yet is the manager department. Obviously, there's managers there that are very structured, but that's not shown great success in the wider world of football. But in terms of scouting and recruitment, there's a scouting school there, and how they develop scouts and how they have the pull to get these young players over anyone else, really, apart from maybe the City Group, is something that can be hugely beneficial for Leeds United. So there are 2 aspects. Again, you come on this channel, I'm an analyst, I'm in the performance industry and the recruitment industry. I love it. So seeing this side of it excites me. Of course, and I have to say this because I know people will be commenting it, there is huge concerns on other sides of it. In the far future for me, it's not even a concern in the next years and years. I think it's, but even if that did become a concern, again, that's something for the future. I think in the next few years, using them not only to grow you commercially, but as a performance tool to enhance performance of individuals, to improve the training facilities, to make them state-of-the-art, attracts young athletes, seasoned pros, attracts the best people to work for your club under that performance side of it. It's all positive in that sense. So it's what you need now. If we want to break to where we want to go in the top of the Premier League, near the top of the Premier League, even in Europe, even competitive in the Premier League for the top 10, these are the moves you have to make. It's how, obviously, secure that is with other things that people are worried about. And again, there's no evidence of that yet, apart from the previous thing. But yeah, so for me, in that perspective, I'm really excited to how this will look, how we will develop the training facilities, how the scouting and recruitment department will form, because the clear record of what they've done in both those fields in all over the sporting industry is at the top. It's elite. So let's see what they can do from that perspective too. And we don't even need to, and I've already mentioned the brand side of it, even getting the F1 side of it and the extreme sports side of it, which they're involved in, which are all huge, by the way. The athletes you could work with, Max Verstappen, one that comes to my head, like, come on, you know. There's a lot of good things that can come from this in the short to medium term. It's the long term that people are worried about, of course, and that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about in this video. Again, I'll be doing videos, I'll be on Joe's tonight talking about all sides of this. This is the performance side of it which I care about, I'm passionate about as a person, and obviously someone that works in that industry and wants to get to a place like the Red Bull kind of scouting aura that attracts players. That is a dream. So from that perspective, I'm excited to see what the next 2 or 3 years bring. I really am. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Look, guys, if you're going to flood comments about the thing, your concerns, put them in, but I'm not going to reply to them because I know we'll talk about them on other shows. This is about that side of it, which if you want a discussion about, I will reply to, obviously, because that's what I know. I don't know about the other stuff. I've not done that research, so I'd be naive to talk about it. Andrea and examples, stuff like that, and Joe will talk about that side of it because they know that stuff. I don't. I sit in my little lane of scouting and performance. So that's all I'd speak about. So, yeah, I'll stop blathering. I'm just chatting now. Right. See you guys in a bit. Peace.